And Cheryl, you not only wanted to talk to Bob, there's something else I'm supposed to cover with you. Is that true? And is Bob the type of person that when he would, if he were here, he would say, take care of her first? Because there is a male energy behind you, but he's telling me to take care of you first, which means that I wouldn't be talking to him first or trying to figure out who that is. So are you here for a different intention and then we can include Bob in?
Yeah, well, I was talking to him all day today. So we moved to Iowa,
Okay.
and it's been really great for our girls, but for like me and my husband, work out here is just not good. We were making way more money in Chicago, and we've been like it's been eating away at him, and I was like just thinking, like give me a sign, and I got a sign the other day on Saturday, and well, I think it's a sign. There was, my daughter joined a cheer team out here in Iowa. She got a bow for competition. Inside the bow, there's like crumpled pieces of paper to keep it from smashing. And one of the crumpled pieces of paper was an invoice for her old cheer team in Chicago. So, like, I was like, holy shit, like that's crazy. So I don't know, like, I don't know what to do. Like
Let's
we
do a
wanted,
couple things. Let's cover this a few different ways. The first thing I want to do is validate Bob's presence, and then I want to connect to your spirit, and then I want to throw a couple cards on it. Can I ask if when Bob passed, was he unable to swallow or had he stopped eating?
yeah, he
Okay.
had throat cancer and then it went
Oh,
into his lymph nodes.
okay. Because when I'm asking him, I'm like, we already went, and he's a nice man. He loves you, not like he's your stepdad. Like there's this thing that people in heaven do when it's like a biological connection. Like they get like usually non-biological connections, they connect this way to you, but when it is a biological connection, they connect this way to you.
Yeah.
And when the relationship bypasses biology and DNA, and it's like you were meant to be mine, it's like this. So you say stepdad, but had I talked to him without knowing that, this would have meant father, the way he's in your energy, and all of his energy like comes around you. So I had said to him, I said, we spent a little bit of time on the Bobs, and you guys thought that was funny. So just let's tell me who you are, give me a confirmation. And my throat, I just couldn't swallow or anything. And so that just helps me know that he's present. And since all the other stuff matches him too, we got kind of like a twofer with that. So I'm going to ask him first, and what is the concern? Should you stay in Iowa or should you come home? Is that where we're focusing our
like
question to
like
him?
like after, because like my daughter Priscilla, she just needed to be in an environment like out here, and so she graduates this year or next year, in May. And I don't know if we should, go back, like it's really good out here. The schools are great, but like, my grandson is in, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to do, what would be best,
Okay.
and I mean, it's been weighing. It's like, I mean, me and Billy have been together. It'll be
Do you
21
have a
years.
friend in heaven that's like a sister?
Yeah.
Who is
Yeah.
she? Because there's a sister girl standing right next to you, and she's like, girl, but she says it like that, girl,
It's
I'm going
either
to answer these questions for you. Who is she to you? And I feel sick, but I don't want to talk about it. So was she sick, but she didn't want to talk about it?
Well, she didn't. It could either be Lori or Jen, but I feel like it would be Lori. You would know if it was Jen. You would have said something else if it was her, but
How did Lori pass?
pneumonia.
Oh yeah, I feel that in my lungs. And how did Jen pass?
She
That's
OD'd.
tragic. wait, that's
Mhm.
tragic. Jen is here too. Because when I get when I confirm Lori, because when you tell me she passed of that, I can feel that all like, you know how you feel when you have pneumonia, like it's all like you feel hollow in your chest. It's like really hurts, like you can feel that you have lungs, which is weird to feel you have that. So I feel that. But then when I asked what Jen passed of, Lori's the one that goes, "Oh my God, that's tragic." And then Jen comes over here and she's like, "Yeah, totally tragic." They have great personalities. They're like fun ladies, both of these ladies. And your Bob is going to help us come up with this. So I have three opinions that we're going to get from them. From Bob, I want to, do you feel guilty or as though you made a mistake? Are you the one that advocated for this and everybody like kind of agreed? And then now you and, Billy are going through all of this, even though it's like better for the kids, but you
He,
feel ultimately the responsible party?
yeah.
Because Bob is like hugging you and he's like, it's not your fault. This was the best move that you could have made at the time that you made it. And you had to do that for the well being of your family. And you did it. And yeah, you kind of already knew going in that the money and the finances there were going to be more difficult than it was here, just because Chicago, Iowa, like, so you kind of already knew that, and it was a sacrifice that you took, you and your husband and the family, so that the kids would be better. um he doesn't think that was a mistake, and when he says that you feel like responsible or guilty or regretful about it, he does not want you to feel that, because had you stayed in Chicago, like, you don't want to know the flip side, like you just don't want to know the flip side. So I feel like 100% Bob thinks you made the right decision initially. He also
And tell him,
shows.
can you tell him thank you for getting a big enough house for us?
Yes,
Because
yes,
he knew what he was doing when he did that. So thank you for that, for each girl having their own room.
yes.
But yes.
I'm just waiting to see his response to that. Okay, he shows me a vision that within 2 to 2.5 years, well, my vision goes 1 to 3 years is the timeline. And in that timeline, he's showing me not this year, but maybe halfway through next year or August of next year is where you actually start thinking about coming back and more seriously. I don't think it's going to happen this year, but it is heading in that direction, and that'll be the right timing for you guys to go. So he makes me feel like there is going to be a return to where you were. Now, did he need hearing aids?
Um, I'm not really 100% sure towards the end, like when he got cancer, but I don't think no.
Did he just talk really, really loud?
Sometimes, yeah.
Because I'm like, he's talking really, really loud, and the way that that makes me feel is like he needed hearing aids or he needed people to talk loud. Um, if that's not the case, he's talking really, really loud. Not that spirit is audible, it's not, but he is really trying to stress a point. Then that would be what he's trying to make sure he does. Your friend, Lori, thinks a total of 5 years. When did you guys move there?
Um, November of 2020.
So your friend Lori told me that you'll be in Iowa for 5 years, a total of 5 years. So we're in 2023, almost to 2024. That actually is the same thing that Bob said. It's the same timeline
It
that
would be
Bob
after
said
Daphne.
about returning.
It would probably be what after Daphne graduates high school.
Hmm. So that's two people with the same information and opinion. And
Jen.
Jen Well, she just will do whatever you wanna do, like, whatever you wanna
Um,
do, she'll jump on your bandwagon and she'll go with it. Like, she
yeah,
really literally has no opinion, it's whatever you wanna do, and then she'll jump on, and then she'll try to make it better for you. That would have been her personality on Earth. Is that true about her?
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
and I'm gonna ask your spirit, you know, are you the type of person when you're advising another, do you tell them, like, there's a hello and then there's a goodbye, like, all things come to an end, like, are you the type of person that help people try to see the journey in its fullness? Because when
I
I asked your spirit about whether or not you guys should come back, clearly yes. Like, she starts at your root chakra and then goes all the way to your crown chakra, and that's the desire. But then the information of your soul comes all the way back through every single chakra, which means there's no blocker for this decision. You know, sometimes when I talk to people and their spirit is communicating with me, they'll take their soul will take this information and kind of bring it up and then down, but it'll stop at the throat, or it'll stop at the solar plexus, and it if there's a stop, that means, wait a minute, there's a block, like, it can't go all the way through. That's not good, right? We want to discover what the block is, see if it can be removed, or if it's there for a good reason. Cheryl, you don't have any block at all to limit you from coming back. I should probably put you in the middle of the screen because you were over on that side, so it looks like I'm looking over there, but I'm actually looking at you. And so that's your spirit and your body self, the human body relationship spirit is actually aligned with that. So if you have already thought, when she graduates high school, we're going to start thinking about coming back to Chicago. And Bob said that for the time that you were there, it was so beneficial, and you don't want to know what it would have been here, because that's the right choice. And then he shows me that vision that shows me that 1 to 3 year mark. And right around the 2 to 2.5 years is where you start looking at it. Lori says 5 total years in Iowa. Jen will do whatever you think is great. I'm also just going to throw a couple cards on it too.
um,
Um,
do
oh,
they
yeah.
think it's a good idea for Billy to go to Chicago
Yeah,
and work there?
first he'll probably will be. That's one of the things that I'm seeing in the cards. Like, check it out. Oh my God. Is that not like the card? So when I was throwing it, when I said, well, let me just check the cards, and then I see that part of your family might go a little earlier. And so he might, establish there. He'll probably come back and forth for a little while, on the weekends or something, depending on what his work is. But that actually looks like that's a strong possibility. And, it's a successful one. Anytime I get like the Ace of Swords, like this is, aces in the tarot cards, they represent reflection, thought, analytics, the way you think about things. So this to me, for this situation and for you, is like everything is going to come back into play here when we make the right decision that really honors who we are. So this is like earth and spirit, full alignment, full agreement. So that option is a successful option. If you guys are okay with that, where he's kind of,
Back
living
and
over
forth.
there, coming home on the weekends, and kind of going back and forth until the kids graduate or until your daughter graduates. But that actually looks like the decision is made. You guys have already done this, and it's so positive from everybody, and even from your own spirit.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, it's really good. And when he goes, interesting, gotta ask, because it shows in the cards. He already knows where he's gonna go to, what he's gonna be doing, and where he's gonna be working, because it feels like he already has a landing place, or they already know he's coming.
Uh, well, he's going actually this Saturday. We're coming to Chicago to visit my grandson who just turned 1. And on
Mhm.
Saturday, he's going to go look at a job.
Oop, you went mute.
That was really weird.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that was Bob because you didn't touch it.
Oh,
I
I
know you
can't
didn't
hear.
touch it. You
Okay.
may be muted me. There you are.
There we go.
Yeah.
We're coming into Chicago actually this weekend to see our grandson, and he's going somewhere on Saturday to look at a sewer and plumbing.
And they kind of already they know he's coming, right?
Hmm.
Okay, because I already have like as I was, your Bob is like, hey, throw the cards. So I threw two more on that. And I'm like, oh, they already know he's coming. Like the so when Bob said, like, oh, the decision's made, it's already happening. And then he's like, throw two more cards on it, and I throw two more cards on it. And then I'm like, oh, they're waiting for him. Like they know he's coming. He'll probably get the job offer. you know, um, there's not really much Billy can't do. Is that true? I mean, I know I met him before and everything, but there's really not much he can't do. This guy is
Yeah,
like a
that's
jack of
true.
all trades, and so
It
there's
is.
good opportunity there, and that may work out well for you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And they'll be around the whole time too if there's other things you want to ask about.
Okay.
Um,